If you're listening to this, then it means that or you're, well, it means I'm gone. And you're probably a little confused, so I should explain. I found this game. It's called Os. Os is a 2 to 6 person game of dexterity and reflex. Nothing else really matters. Well, sometimes gambling matters. The aim is to get as many points as possible by performing tricks with these. I guess they look like little stones? They're called jacks. In Plato's Greece, they played a game like this with the knuckle bones of sheep. And that's what the jacks are modelled after, little sheep bones. They played this game in Rome and ancient Egypt. Over the millennia, the game of jacks spread to all corners of the globe, and variations can still be found on every continent. From Israel to Korea, from Ireland to Brazil, not a century has gone by without this game. The jacks are timeless, and they're powerful. How do I know this? Let's just say I know my history, and when you're finished with us, you will too. Anyway, the basic game behind all these variations is the same. To start, throw one of the jacks up into the air. In the case of Os, this is the white stone. To make matters slightly confusing, all the stones are called jacks, but the white stone in Os is called the jack. Now, the player has to pick up a coloured jack with the same hand while the jack is in the air. To be successful, they have to catch the white stone on its way down. If they catch it, they can move on. They do this again and again. It doesn't matter if they chicken out and end up picking up nothing, so long as they catch the jack, they're still in and they can attempt another pickup. You drop it, and you've lost. The basic trick in Os is called Aslik, and it's just one of the many kinds of tricks that you'll have to perform with these stones. Printed on these trick cards are all the other moves, the juggleries, that you might have to perform. At the start of each round, 3 of these and 1 dual card will be revealed. Players then take turns betting how many times they can perform each trick. For example, Wallow involves putting your hand against the ground or table on its side, throwing up the jack, then picking up and quickly tossing another stone over your outstretched hand, not forgetting to catch the jack on its way down. If you can do the trick enough times, you win that amount in points. If you lose the tribe card. So if you're foolishly ambitious and you bet 4 on a trick like Glodok, which is simply the most basic trick but wearing a bag on your hand, you might lose the chance to get those 4 points for the rest of the game. If 2 people bet on the same trick, it goes to a duel. It doesn't even matter who bet higher. As soon as 2 people bet on the same card, they have to face off. A lot of these duels mean racing each other to pick up jacks or taking turns to pick up more and more in one swipe, never forgetting to catch the jack on its way down. You keep going for 4 rounds like this, and the person with the most points at the end wins, and that's pretty much it. Well, apart from the challenges, which all players have to take part in, they're difficult. A stack of jacks on top of one another. A little stack of bones. Fitting. The truth is that for all of Os's physical difficulty, it is incredibly simple as a game. It's maybe a little too simple. And as a game of skill, it definitely favours those who play more, not to mention those people with bigger hands. It's very satisfying when somebody gets too big for their bones and bets everything on a trick you just know is going to go horribly wrong for them, and the bones go shooting from their hands, peppering the room like a misfiring Sten gun. Then again, it's very anticlimactic when that trick goes wrong in the plainest possible way, and they just drop the white jack on the first practice toss. As physical games go, it's alright. The one nagging thing you can't escape is the feeling that this is essentially a school playground game that's been reskinned. Imagine if someone added cards and tricks to table football or slapsies or hopscotch. Yeah, there'd be all these wonderful, colourful cards and funny names and silly special moves, but at the end of the day, you're still playing hopscotch. But there must be something in hopscotch, right? I mean, to survive all this time as a game. And that same thing must be there for these bones. Something about them that makes the game show up century after century after century in playgrounds, in mines, in tribal villages. And well, that's why I'm recording this message. You see, there is something else in these bones. I meant it when I said they were powerful. Timeless. You just throw up the jacks, catch them, catch the jack. Catch Jack. That's it. Okay, by now you'll have figured it out too. I tell you to hurry, but you've got all the time in the world.
For the last time, he was a busker.
Right, okay, the panpipes look very dangerous.
No.
It's quite aggressive. I think they were loaded.
I'm not having this. I am going out. No, sod this Phantom of the Opera nonsense. We're going to do a properly scary review.
But Quinn, stay safe.
You know what, Paul? I was going to say we review this game, but it's rubbish.
What is it?
It's just about this boring murder case in Victorian England.
Oh, a serial killer.
Not even. It's about this guy called Jack the Rubbish Murderer.
Okay.
He killed one person and got caught the same night. I'll find the Wikipedia page for you.
Right, I thought you were going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the police usually get their man, or sometimes do.
Well, that's the weird thing. It wasn't even the police. It was a member of public that caught him. The game's seriously so rubbish, Jack loses every single time.
Oh, wait, look. Who is that? Look at that guy.
Yeah, that's the guy who caught him. They say he went mad and spent the rest of his life talking about being trapped and something about bones.
Wow. Well, still, he probably saved some lives, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's go to bed.
No. I want to review something. What if we did, What if we did a reverse Halloween looking at the least scary games we've ever found?
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
No, because you
Yeah.
can't possibly mean...
Do you like Jenga? Of course you do. Everybody likes Jenga. But what if you were walking down the street and somebody said, hey, do you want something a little stronger? They might well be talking about Toc-Toc Woodman, but they might also be talking about drugs. So basically be careful, because drugs...
Yeah, so the obvious thing to immediately say about Toc-Toc Woodman is it looks like a toy. It looks kind of like a chew toy, in fact, the kind of thing that you'd expect to sort of be hanging out, or a child's mouth covered in dribble, or a dog's mouth. I mean, I can't really tell what the difference is. And immediately you've got choices here, and one of the choices is to be put off by this. But we at Shut Up and Sit Down don't recommend that you do that, because not wanting to play a game because you're worried that you might look silly playing a game and having fun is a little bit cowardly.
Yeah, cowardly, and you know what? Wanting to be perceived as an adult is a fundamentally childish activity. Adults just do whatever they want. And if what you want to do involves playing with an injection molded piece of Korean plastic, then we recommend you do that, so long as you're not using it as a euphemism for a sexual activity.
Well, I mean, if you are, that's okay.
Or if you are, that's okay.
That's fine. That's... So how does this exotic Super Jenga work? It's very simple. Each section of the tree is divided up like this. You've got bark around the outside, you've got a log in the middle. And what you get to do on your turn, every player has to tap twice, and the bits of bark that fall off are worth a point. They're worth a point each. But the bits of log, they're worth -5 points. So what you want to try and do is obviously tap away and just get the
Stop it!
bark to come away, which when the tree looks like this is kind of easy. But when it looks like this...
Alright, that's like -20 points. So there's one big problem with Jenga, which is that the game ends as soon as anyone makes a mistake. A heartbeat of elation that it wasn't you that screwed up, followed by the sort of dissatisfaction amid the rubble of the game. That's not ideal. Toc-Toc Woodman is ideal because you keep going until all the bark is stripped off the tree, allowing you to delight in your friend's mistakes, big and small.
So it's less annoying than Jenga, it's also more fun, it's funner than Jenga, and it's more interesting because you're constantly thinking about not just how you're going to get some bark next, but what you're doing to the whole structure when you do that. And it's a game of risk and reward, because if you tap away gingerly, you might not score many points, whereas if you tap really hard, then everyone at the table laughs at you if your name's Quinns and you just did that. It's basically a game of risk and reward and an enormous amount of fun, and it's not made any easier by all the components being actually quite slippery.
Shut up and sit down. Absolutely recommend Toc-Toc Woodman for all aspiring woodmen. But you know what? I think we have one more game that's even less scary than this.
I can't believe that the whole thing.
Seriously, that wasn't scripted. Are you ready for the ultimate test? Are you ready for a battle blending brains and brawn and luck and wit and dexterity? Are you ready to spend 10 minutes looking for a cube that's rolled under the fridge?
Then you're ready for Cube Quest, which is a very, 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 very silly game, but it's also probably the most fun we've had this year in the shortest period of time.
Yes, this game is so simple that I could probably explain it in one breath.
Well,
here we go. In Cube Quest, you each have an army of cubes, and one of those cubes is the king cube, and on your turn you're going to be flicking one cube. The object of the game is to knock the enemy's king off the board. However, if one of your cubes lands on the other side of the board and it's not face up, then it's captured.
Wait, you haven't explained setup.
In setup, you have to place boxes between the table.
Yep. So setup involves, first of all, players using the boxes as a sort of dividing thing and then beaving away secretly at their side of the map to do their own secret setup secretly. And then after they've secretly done that, they reveal to each other.
Wait, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
I haven't even got them out of the thing. Hang on. So,
okay.
But this is a chance for you to experiment with your tactics and your setup and work out exactly how...
You ready?
No. How are you going to distribute, because...
Are you ready?
No.
You ready?
No.
You ready now?
Yeah.
Let's go. We're going.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go! What the hell is that? And then you're straight off into a game of just flicking and praying.
Like my last relationship.
That doesn't make any sense.
You won that.
Now, I have to very quickly point something out, because you're going to hear a Cube Quest, you're going to think it's a one-turn game where you just flick a cube as hard as you can at the enemy king and win immediately. Allow me to demonstrate why that's not the case. Here's our king, here's our soldier. You're going to miss, you're going to kill your troops, and you're going to look like a total ball bag.
And this unpredictability is entirely the point. Last year we looked at a dexterity game called Catacombs. It's a game of heroes exploring a dungeon, of magic spells, of clever tricks, of pushing your luck, and more than anything else, of people making mistakes that make their entire team hate them. It's a game of flicking your way through multiple dungeon levels with hit points and spells and bats and poison and bats and all sorts of trouble. And it's a pretty amazing game, but you could happily own both. Cube Quest is much simpler, and a game takes about 10 minutes, so it fills an entirely different spot in your collection. It's still great because it offers those same moments of incredibly entertaining mistakes, but also impressive skill shots and just ridiculous messes.
Now, there may be people watching this who watch Shut Up and Sit Down to be told about serious strategy games, about po-faced dramas they can enjoy with their friends. But I gotta tell you, if you're not interested in dexterity games, you're missing out, because they achieve something incredibly... That's dead, it's dead. Because they achieve something so fantastic, which isn't just that your opponent's turns are as exciting as yours. They're even more exciting, because skillful shots, terrible disasters are things that you can enjoy. And if a game's even more exciting when the attention isn't on you, that is a fantastic achievement.
Oh, that's something.
Alive!
But this doesn't mean that Cube Quest is an entirely dumb game. No, it has its own ploys and tactics and manoeuvres, and the advanced game in the box allows you to set up your own army with defensive knights, or freeze cubes that stop other cubes from moving, or healers that bring other cubes back to life. I just felt like I had the weirdest feeling, like someone stepped on my grave.
Yeah, I felt it too.
Or as if some dimension had been torn from the locus of our present existence and buried, but by unskilled hands, and then our destiny tilted in a higher direction.
Oh my god. You know what this means,
Hang
don't
on,
you?
What?
Yeah.
What?
We've passed another stretch goal. We have to make 2 45-minute episodes. I'm gonna go work on some scripts, man.